We're live, everybody. How's it going? We're live. We're live. We're live. Sorry. I'm just going to post to Twitter real quick. Give me a moment. All right, we're posting to Twitter, so if people want to come by and say hello, go for it. If not, no big deal. Hello, welcome to the Lynchian Hangout number 4. It's been a long time, everybody, but we're back with these, so to speak. If you're here, let yourself be known in the chat. You know how to do. You know how it goes. You know how to do it, so do it. Come on, man. Whew. Lord have mercy, mercy me. So much to talk about, but so little to say, if you know what I mean. I know it's been a while since I've done one of these, and video's been kind of sparse. I just did the Queen of Hearts Act 4 reaction. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I had a fun time with that. Loving Queen of Hearts. I say that honestly. I know there's still a lot of trolls out there who are just naysaying it, and you don't have to like it, but I'm enjoying myself watching it. So yeah, fuck you too. But in all seriousness, shout out to Cameron. He was live a little bit ago, then he kind of signed off. Or my internet connection was kind of screwy, or I don't know, but it kind of inspired me to maybe come on here for a little bit. This won't be a very long Lynchian hangout. Just depends on you if you want to show up. If you can't show up live, say something in the comments. I always enjoy your lovely, lovely comments as usual. So yeah. Anyways, what is going on in Lynchland? I don't know. Wisteria has been, there's no news, nothing coughed up on that. So that's a shame, I guess. I don't know what's happening. I could have done a video on saying I don't know what's happening, but honestly, I don't know. I don't know. It's weird, but what can you do? But this is kind of old news. David Lynch is going to be in a Steven Spielberg film. 2 icons from the 70s are going to be together at last, I guess. I'm not really too big on Spielberg these days. I like my classic, old blockbuster Raiders of the Lost Ark, Spielberg, but I'm not a big fan of him today, if that makes sense. You know what I mean. Come on. But yeah, interesting. And so yeah, recently Lost Highway has celebrated its 25th anniversary. 25 years of Lost Highway. Can you believe it? Kind of a Lynch film that doesn't get a lot of love and recognition. It happens to be my second favorite Lynch film. Second, not piece, second. And I really, really am immersed in that world. And I really feel like it was really ahead of its time. I mean, David Lynch, kind of went back to his experimentation from Eraserhead. And you could even argue that Fire Walk with Me is very experimental. And so is his directed episodes of Twin Peaks are pretty experimental. So, but I think he really went all in with Lost Highway. It was kind of a blueprint for the kind of style he would do post Twin Peaks. Although The Straight Story doesn't really fall into that kind of category, it's still a really good film. One of my favorites. I very much love every Lynch film except for Dune, but that's just me. And yeah, so recently I was pretty disappointed, and Kino Lorber, they released this Lost Highway Blu-ray. I got it despite my own best judgment. I got it off Amazon, so really this is probably Amazon's fault. But look at this crappy packaging, this cheap packaging, you know. Look, hold on. Hold on. So yeah, as you can see, this is broken. It's been damaged, so it doesn't really fit. The disc does not fit correctly in its case. Probably shake it around. And really, I mean, it just has the same cover as the DVD that came out all those years ago. You know, nothing too special. Really lackluster box packaging. There's obviously no special features. And so yeah, the packaging sucked. So I tried to put it in my Blu-ray player, my 4K Blu-ray player, even though this is a regular Blu-ray. I get that. It would not play. I tried it on a different Blu-ray player too. I tried it on multiple devices and it would not fucking play. So great job, Kino Lorber. Great job, Amazon. Proud of you. You know, and it's really disappointing because this film deserves like a really nice meaty release. Janus Films, which I think is in association with Criterion, is releasing a maybe a special edition. They kind of teased it on Twitter. You know how Twitter works. They kind of tease things and, you know, kind of, you know, maybe something's happening. Or maybe nothing's happening. I don't know. But yeah, I really wanted this on Blu-ray, even if it's just a film. And unfortunately, they fucked up. I got to send it back at some point, get a refund. But it's really, really disappointing. Like, why even release it? You know, I mean, I guess it's good. I'm sure some people will have a fine Blu-ray of it and it works, but you know, get your shit together, Kino Lorber. Like, seriously, get your shit together, Amazon. I mean, there's no reason for this travesty of getting a Blu-ray of Lost Highway and it not working. And what am I going to do? Just order another one and have it not work again? It's just really fucking frustrating. And I was pretty much on Lynch's side when he said this was not a proper Blu-ray release of Lost Highway. So I protested with my wallet and did not get one. I was going to pay $20 for just a standard Blu-ray of Lost Highway. Luckily, when the price went down to about $10, I purchased it, and it did not work. So it's a piece of shit. And I've gone releases from Kino Lorber before, and I mean, they don't really have special features, but they do take more obscure films that don't really have a proper release, and then you release them. And so I thought, well, at the very least, I could have a Blu-ray copy of Lost Highway. I could own it. I could have a physical copy because you can't get it on Amazon now. You can't get it digital on Amazon. I checked. I'm actually, I might be doing a podcast. My podcast, Cinema Enigma podcast. You can find us on Spotify, iTunes, and all the major everywhere about YouTube for some reason, but we got to fix that. It's a podcast to do with my friend Phil. We talk about different films, and I'm going to be selecting Lost Highway coming up, and I really want to talk about it. It's for it being the 25th anniversary and all, and you know, just really excited about this film. And Amazon doesn't have a digital version of it, at least here in the US. I wanted to buy it. Since, you know, the Blu-ray snafu of the Kino Lorber Lost Highway Blu-ray, I was like, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and get it on Amazon just as a backup. And of course, Amazon doesn't have it. I still have the DVD, but it's DVD, you know, and I want a really good HD copy of it. But I digress. And it's just very disappointing. I'm very let down by this kind of the way physical media is done, or what it's doing with certain films, prioritizing certain films because certain films are more popular. I get that. I know there's different films. of Lynch's that are more popular than others. Lost Highway isn't really a big one. I was surprised even Mulholland Drive got a Criterion 4K treatment. I would have sworn that it would put like Blue Velvet on 4K because that's the one everyone loves. I love Blue Velvet too, don't get me wrong. But it's just kind of annoying that there's no real proper release, and it's just really hard to get a hold of Lost Highway now, which really sucks because I really feel it's a really special film. It's very 90s. It's very much a film of its time, but it still really works, and I am still a massive, massive fan of it. And yeah, I don't know. But let's talk Lost Highway. Hold on, I want to see if anyone responded to the Twitter. No, okay. Okay. Back to it. Where is it? There we go. All right. But let's talk Lost Highway. I think Lost Highway is really, really fun. It's really, really intense. It's really, really psychological. I think the whole thing is a psychological fugue, or a way to express that. Lynch was kind of influenced by the OJ murder trial, the murder case, and so he kind of used that as inspiration. That's not really talked about that much, and I really feel that's a really important element to it. And so he got with Barry Gifford, who wrote with him the script for Wild at Heart, I think he wrote the book Wild at Heart. I'm pretty sure he did. And so they get together to create this amalgamation of what it's like to try to escape your own identity, your own life. And it does that in a very weird, surreal, kind of sci-fi kind of way where you don't really sure which characters are real. Is Fred Madison the same as Pete Dayton? Is Pete Dayton like an amalgamation of something? Or is he just an innocent kid who's getting wrapped up into this? Because there's some weird things going on within Lost Highway. You have the femme fatale of Renee / Alice, played beautifully by Patricia Arquette. She does a great job. She's really brave and bold in the film. Not just because she gets nude, but just the way that she goes into it, into the Lynch kind of the Lost Highway kind of psychology of playing these two completely different personas, but yet one and the same. I find very, very fascinating. I think that's very, very cool, don't you know? And yeah, I mean, to me, and my interpretation is kind of basic, I guess. Not that I'm basic, but I think that the whole thing's a psychological fugue of Fred Madison, who does not want to accept his reality. Whether or not the Pete Dayton timeline reality is real or false, or if Pete Dayton is an amalgamation of someone who Fred Madison wants to be, he's going to kind of put himself in that kind of persona, the way he puts Renee in a different persona. He puts different people and different names. And, Mr. Eddie is Dick Laurent. Dick Laurent is dead. How did Dick Laurent die? It's a lot of different kind of clues that kind of fit together, but kind of don't at the same time. It's really, really weird. It's really, really strange, but I love it so much. And so I really feel that it's about a man trying to escape his own fate. As he says in the film, I like to remember things my own way. He hates video cameras. He hates documentation of real life events, and hold on, are we losing Wi-Fi? If I'm not coming in clear, someone's watching, please let me know in the chat. I do apologize. I need to get my own internet and not, rely on my apartment's internet. So, anyways, where was I? Yeah, Fred Madison. Fred Dayton, Pete Madison. No. And it's just a man trying to escape his own guilt as, OJ, you know, did things within the case. I mean, I don't know too much about it personally. I just know like the court case footage, and I did see that's not so great. The People versus OJ Simpson, Ryan Murphy thing, which was okay. It was okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't like terrible or anything. This is Ryan Murphy, Ryan Murphy. But we're not here to talk about Ryan Murphy. We're here to talk about David Lynch. And so Lost Highway, it's about Fred Madison escaping his own guilt. And for a moment, he puts himself into an insane mental fugue state, pretending he's someone else, even in his own mind, or it maybe Pete Dayton is real. And for some weird coincidence, he transformed into him. And for a moment, he got to live his life as a free man with our identity, but things keep kind of seeping through psychologically. We see that Fred is a saxophone player in a jazz band. We hear him play this very like violent, aggressive saxophone solo. And that same solo comes up in the auto garage where Pete Dayton works. So this is why I think Pete Dayton is just an amalgamation or a fantasy, who he isn't real. But there's one scene that kind of doesn't add up with that. I'll get to that in a little bit. But yeah, so the same saxophone solo kind of plays at the auto garage on the radio. I think the last scene Jack Nance ever did, I'm not sure, but definitely one of the last scenes where he goes, I like that, and he wants him to turn the music off because it's reminding him of Fred Madison. Fred is trying to escape everything and he can't. And there's one scene near the end after Pete and Alice go over to the Michael Massey character, the porn producer. What was his name? I don't remember. Was it Dickie maybe? No, I don't know. But whatever, the Michael Massey character, they go and, Michael Massey kind of lunges and, impales his forehead onto the glass coffee table, which is probably one of the most brutal death scenes ever. I mean, they don't really like show it going through, but they kind of cut to it after the fact. I think that was a really amazing scene. And then, it's almost like, well, I can't really compare it to a Cinderella thing because he lives as Pete Dayton for a few days and a few nights. And then at the last night, he is trying to make love to Alice, but Alice says, you can never have me. And then he transforms back into Fred Madison. And then the one reveal, when Fred comes back, he goes into the cabin and sees the Robert Blake character, the mystery man, I guess. I forget if he has like a name or not. And the mystery man says Alice is, her name is Renee. If she told you her name was Alice, she is lying. Because definitely the porn industry takes a good chunk amount. It kind of takes a good, element of the story about what Renee really is or who she's involved with. Sorry if sometimes it takes me to articulate myself properly when I'm doing these live stuff. So we have that reveal that Alice isn't really Alice, that she's really Renee, and how porn stars take kind of false identity, a stage name, a pseudonym. She puts on a wig, she's blonde. she puts on a wig and she becomes someone else. And then we see the photograph is just with Renee, with Dick Laurent and the Michael Massey character. I forget his name. I think it's Dickie, but I could be wrong. But then there's two sets of detectives. One detective says Pete David's prints are all over this, which I wish wasn't there. I wish they would have cut that part of that scene, because it really drives me nuts, because everything else is leading to this being kind of a fantasy in Fred's mind. But with that scene saying Pete Dane's prints are over this place, and then they say there's no such thing as a bad coincidence or something. And it just kills me, because I really want this to be the film. And this is what David Lynch does sometimes. He takes you on a trail, you think you're figuring it out, then boom, he hits you with a wall, he hits you in the face, he slams his palm in your face, and you are left flabbergasted. It's just insane. And so if Pete Danon is real, then there was some magical moments. Which the song "This Magic Moment" cover by Lou Reed appears, and the soundtrack appears in the film. Somehow there's some connection between these two men that happens, and they kind of change over and switch, or Fred Madison disappears into Pete Dayton. So Pete Dayton is real. Then Renee is Alice, Renee was pretending to be Alice, because she was the only one in that picture for real. But the picture he saw, they had to, they were both there. So there's a lot of inconsistencies. I don't want to call it bad writing or anything, but it's just something that's always bugged me about Lost Highway. It's still my second favorite Lynch film. I like it a little bit more in Blue Velvet and Fire Walk with Me. Those would be like my top four. Straight Story would be like number 5. But it's just, it just kind of bugs me a little bit. And but I mean, the whole film is just a really great exercise in experimental filmmaking. And I really feel that it was really like lavishly panned in the negatives by Roger Ebert. He said he never liked Lynch until The Straight Story, basically. And it's a shame, because I think, it is kind of lurid content. It's very graphic, nudity wise, and violent wise. And there's a lot of crazy shit going on in the film. I guess would turn people off. But this is Lynch's return to form, because it had been 5 years since Fire Walk with Me. People trash that film. He was, defeated in a way. I mean, he did On the Air, and he did Hotel Room. I think that was in between Fire Walk with Me and Lost Highway, or around the same time as Fire Walk with Me. And, Hotel Room, I think, was just like a little 3-part mini series or 3-episode thing for HBO. And I would love to see Lynch go back to HBO, because HBO has some really, really good content. I love HBO shows personally. Not to sidetrack too much. And On the Air, I've never seen yet. I do want to watch On the Air at some point. It's just hard to get. I think it might be on YouTube, so I might check that out at some point. Maybe do a review on it. We'll see. But regardless of that, Fire Walk with Me really, and On the Air being canceled, I'm sure didn't help lift his spirits or his confidence. So he stepped out of the limelight for a while, and he came back with Lost Highway. And people treated it as a joke. They treated, they didn't welcome him back with open arms. I don't think Lost Highway got a fair chance. And I think whoever's going to distribute it next, gives it a fair chance, and gives it to the people who want it, who love it, who want to have it seen by everybody. Just give it the fair chance that it deserves. And But whatever your interpretation is of Lost Highway, I think it's a really great film. I think the ultimate fate for Fred Madison is he goes to the electric chair, because as he is running from the cops, I think probably psychologically he's trying to not face his reality as he's being like put into the electric chair and being executed. I think there's definitely a lot of evidence to support that, from the visuals of the film. And I mean, the film does kind of change over every time it goes through the highway. When you see that POV of the highway, it's such a great shot, and one of the best like opening credit sequences ever, in my opinion. I want to say more, but I don't want to ramble on too long. This is going to be a short Lynchian hangout. And I think that's going to be it, unless anyone wants to pop in and say hi. I think that's going to be it for now. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this little ramble of mine. Just wanted to kind of get the ball rolling on the Lynchian Hangouts again. So I thought this would be just a good opportunity as ever to come on here live and kind of talk Lost Highway, because it's 25th anniversary and it's a great film. I think it deserves a lot of love. It doesn't get that much love in the community, but I think there's a small sub-community, subspecies of people like myself who really enjoy Lost Highway. So I think that's going to be it. I want to catch you guys later. There will be more videos coming. I don't want to say soon, but I want to get the ball rolling again. I apologize for the month of February. I didn't have any content. I've been working on my other channel, George Reviews, which you can subscribe. I'll leave that in the description box if you want to support that. That's where I talk about lots of different films and working on some different videos for that channel. It's kind of hard to balance two channels. Even though this channel has more subscribers, my main source of content is going to be George Reviews moving forward. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed whatever this was, and I'll see you on the next Lynchian Hangout. I'll see you on the next video. Until then.